together by AI.
CBS Tuesday is FBI night.
We need to find these punks before it's too late.
FBI Most Wanted is all new CBS next Tuesday at 10, 9 Central.
Futurecast showing the skies clearing out and giving us some fairly decent sunshine for Wednesday with maybe a few afternoon clouds. Warm-up is in store.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, Trump heads to Atlanta, Georgia to tout his economic record in a crucial swing state, while Harris heads back to Detroit trying to win over more black voters. Plus, the League of Women Voters hosts a forum for candidates vying for a seat on Negaunee City Council. We'll hear how it went. And right now is one of the cheapest times of the year to travel. We'll show you the latest prices. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP. 19 News at 11.
Nicer weather in store here. Check out the steady warm, the 30s by daybreak here, but by the afternoon for tomorrow, looking at partly sunny skies, and temperature is getting into the mid-50s. So this is the beginning, Wednesday, kind of your transition day into some nicer weather, and looking at partly sunny skies throughout the region. Might hit 60 for some of you, but into the mid to upper 50s most areas for Wednesday. Rest of the forecast later in the show. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, Tom. Election Day is now exactly 3 weeks away, and early in-person voting has begun in the crucial battleground state of Georgia. Both presidential candidates campaigned in battleground states today, hoping to energize specific groups of voters they need to win. Natalie Brand has the latest.
Former President Trump rallied in Atlanta 3 weeks from election night with a focus on the economy.
And we will make America affordable again. Prices are still going up.
He had just come from taping a Fox News town hall with an all-female audience in battleground Georgia. Earlier, during an interview in Chicago, he was asked if he has had conversations with Russia's President Vladimir Putin since leaving office.
If I did, it's a smart thing.
That sounds
if
very,
I have a relationship, I don't talk about that.
Vice President Kamala Harris campaigned in Detroit Tuesday, courting black voters, specifically men. She met with businessmen at a Detroit art gallery alongside actor Don Cheadle, then sat down with radio host Charlemagne the God. He asked her about marijuana policy.
My pledge is, as president, I will work on decriminalizing it because I know exactly how those laws have been used to disproportionately impact certain populations and specifically black men.
Polls show Harris's support among black men is similar to President Biden's in 2020, but any gains by former President Donald Trump could give him an edge in Michigan. Some believe Trump is winning over some younger black men with what they call MAGA machismo.
So sometimes that if someone comes along offering some delusion, right, that they can give them manhood by stepping on others.
Back in Georgia, more than 300,000 people voted in person on day one of early voting, shattering day one records set during the 2022 midterms.
I think this is an existential election. It's going to have implications for my children and my 3 grandsons and more to come. So it's critically important that everyone at least voices their vote.
Early voting is now underway in more than half of U.S. states.
The Harris-Walz campaign is on track to break records when it comes to fundraising money this election cycle. The campaign hit a benchmark $1 billion raised since the campaign launched in late July. While that is on par with what the Biden campaign raised in 2020, the Harris campaign managed it in just 3 months. It's also managed to make up for Trump's original lead on fundraising this year, with his total sitting closer to $650 million, most of which goes right into marketing and advertising efforts.
This advertising it works, and it's why you're seeing all of this messaging, but it does actually lead to more information. Voters are able to better distinguish the candidates as a result of that.
We have more about the finance reports from both campaigns up on our website, WZMQ19.com. Candidates for Negaunee City Council squared off in a public forum to give voters a better picture of who will run the city tonight. Our John Truitt spoke with the ones in attendance.
The League of Women Voters held a candidate forum this evening for those wishing to win a seat on the Negaunee City Council. The questions put to the candidates covered a variety of topics, from future development and protecting green spaces to infrastructure maintenance and recreation. The candidates taking part in the forum were John Becker, who sits on the Planning Commission, David Kangas, the current mayor of Negaunee, Jeff Plummer, a local business owner, and Amanda Ganavate, a lifelong resident of Negaunee. I asked each of the candidates one question: what is the most important issue facing the city? Both Ganavate and Plummer would like to see more transparency in government.
It's the amount of citizen input that's being fielded by the council in our city government, and a lot of people feel that maybe the public is not always being heard.
There has been a lot of discontent in the public with decisions being made without public input.
While Kangas says we need to build on the progress Negaunee is enjoying.
Maintain the vision. As long as that vision is maintained, you're always going to have a goal, direction, and a purpose.
And John Becker called for more qualified people to take part in Negaunee's government.
The significant issue is, having people that know how government works. And by and large, that probably means, if you like the direction that the city has been going, then vote for the people that got us here.
In Negaunee, John Truitt, WZMQ 19 News.
A new investment firm held their ribbon cutting today at the Marquette County Courthouse. 401(k) will specialize in working with nonprofits and individuals planning their retirement. According to owner Tyler Sherwina, they will use the latest technology available.
What we did is went back to the drawing board, basically looked at all the technology providers that would be the premier technology providers in my perspective, and brought those different technology providers together.
His new firm should be up and running soon, helping nonprofits and retirees. And looking around the UP, a Delta County farm is making fresh produce more accessible for families in need. The Gladstone Berry Farm grows strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, and a variety of other fruits and vegetables. The farm recently became certified in the Women, Infants, and Children program, also known as WIC or WIC. The owners say it's an opportunity to help program participants get nutritious produce grown in their own community.
We have a lot of customers with the need for WIC, and they stop by requesting to use it. There was some hurdles we had to go through to finally get certified, but hopefully in the future we'll be adding the SNAP and other benefits as well.
It's fresher, it tastes better, and you're supporting local.
The Gladstone Berry Farm is open 7 days a week from 9 to 5. The farm also has decorative and baking pumpkins for sale now through Halloween. Fall is one of the best times of the year for travel, with lower prices and smaller crowds. Travel sites say this is also when you need to think about finalizing your holiday plans. Wendy Gillette tells us more.
Fall is the time to travel.
From leaf peeping to a tropical weekend getaway, fall brings travelers some of the best deals of the year.
Right now we're seeing that fall airfare is very affordable.
Hopper says that breaks down to about $240 for an average domestic round-trip flight, 4% lower compared to pre-pandemic fares. Some of the best deals are to Charleston, Denver, and Miami, with round-trip flights averaging less than $100 from many U.S. cities. If you're planning to fly for Thanksgiving or Christmas, the travel site recommends buying now before Halloween.
Holiday prices today are at the lowest they're going to be, and availability is its best.
International flight prices have also dropped around 30% from their summer highs, averaging around $700 round trip to Europe compared to $1,000 just a few months ago. Lori Best, who has dual citizenship in the U.S. and Australia, took a long-haul flight from New York's JFK earlier this month.
I'm initially going to Singapore. That's about 19 plus hours flight, and then down to Perth in Western Australia.
Western Australia is a popular destination this month, the host of this year's World Travel and Tourism Council's Global Summit, where travel leaders discuss the state of the industry and future trends.
People are really looking for experiences. They're choosing, instead of to buy things, to actually go on travel and see things they've never seen before.
Tourists visiting Western Australia experience a diverse mix of sea,
sand, including at the pinnacles outside Perth, and sound. Travel throughout the entire country has almost recovered after the pandemic.
We're sitting at about 86% of where we were, so we've still got a little way to go, but we can see that milestone on the horizon.
It's really a pleasure to be here.
At the Global Summit, where former Secretary of State John Kerry served as a keynote speaker, it was announced that tourism this year is set to surpass pre-pandemic levels, accounting for over $11 trillion of global GDP, about 10% of the world economy, all adding up to a 2.5% boost for travel from 2019.
Hopper says fall prices for rental cars are also down 20% from the summer, averaging $34 a day. Coming up next, Tom DeVecchio has your first warning weather forecast. Plus, concern grows over the rising number of ADHD cases in the country. And we check out some of the latest car models at the largest car show of the year in Europe. That's coming up in 2 minutes.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
Without this procedure, you could die. Question is, can we get permission? Let's check in with Carl Bonak's panel of radical politicians.
Carl Bonak is endorsed by a radical group that would criminalize nearly all abortions, putting politicians in charge of our health decisions. Their plan outlaws abortions even after rape or incest.
Wait a minute, don't I have a say in this?
I'm sorry, not with Carl Bonak and Lansing.
Get an 11% rebate today when you shop at Menards. Mastercraft makes great doors inside and out. Choose from our great in-stock selection or design your door your way with our free step-by-step design program. This pre-finished 6-panel interior door is $119.99 after rebate. Keep dirt and debris out of your home with Apache Mills doormats. They have skid-resistant backing and are easy to clean. Get this doormat for $5.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Tonight, undecided voters. You know their slogan, we can't pick a slogan.
New Colbert, tonight on CBS.
The Jennifer Hudson Show audience always slays.
You have 3 looks a day? Absolutely. Okay, girl. That's the only way. You don't know where you're going to be, so, plan ahead.
I love it.
CNN's Jake Tapper and his daughter share the story of her misdiagnosis. And Sean the Science Kid.
The Jennifer Hudson Show, tomorrow at 5 on WZMQ TV CBS, followed by 19 News at 6.
She's inquisitive.
What led to this young lady finding you in this compromising situation?
And firm.
The only thing that matters in this particular courtroom, sir, is how I see it.
Watch Equal Justice with Judge Ebony K. Williams.
Weekdays on WZMQ CBS. Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Tom DeVecchio.
We're still going to have a chilly, brisk night here as those northerly winds will continue. I think the precipitation, any that did fall in the evening, pretty much over. And we'll even try and get some clearing in here later on. And that's going to lead to some beautiful sunshine for Wednesday, at least in the morning. Some of those pop-up lake effect clouds could come in during the afternoon. But with the sun alone and the cold core moving out, we'll have some milder temperatures and then getting warmer. Even might hit 70 by the upcoming weekend here. So enjoy the nicer weather. The cold air after tonight will be behind us. But for the kids, we're looking at some chilly weather when they go to school in the morning. Temperatures there in the mid-30s. We'll be going into the 50s, not the 40s here. That's a wrong temp. We're looking at more in the 50s when the kids come home in the afternoon. Still going to be a chilly breeze along with some of that sunshine trying to break out here. Nice picture here of the Northern Lights, Hiawatha Forest. We've had very active geomagnetic storms that have really given the ionosphere a lot of beautiful color here, and that's what we're seeing. This was actually taken a couple of nights ago, and a real pretty shot. And I don't think we're done. I think we're going to see more of those geomagnetic storms that will make the color look pretty nice over the next several weeks or maybe next couple of months. So if we can have Mother Nature cooperate and give us some clear skies, I think we'll have more of that nice look of the northern lights. So Futurecast, again, showing the clearing skies for later on tonight. That trend will lead to some nice sunshine for tomorrow. Notice clouds still moving south. We're still going to have a northerly flow, but with the sunshine itself and the cold core mass moving off toward the east in and of itself should give us some milder temperatures. Thursday looking pretty good with that sunshine. In fact, we're going to keep that decent weather going on right into the upcoming weekend. But still cold for tonight. Despite the breeze, still going to be kind of frosty here away from the lakeshore, even some mid to upper 20s along the Wisconsin border. Marquette, as always, there's going to be big changes between the lakeshore where the lows will drop close to 39, but probably closer to 32 once you get on the outskirts and the south side and into the center part of the Upper Peninsula. Tomorrow looking good. Got some partly sunny skies. The beginning of the warm-up continues mid to upper 50s, and we're going to break 60 by the time we get to Thursday here, lows to mid 60s here. Friday looking good, and the weekend temperatures could get up to 70 by the time we reach Sunday.
Thank you, Tom. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD, affects about 15.5 million adults. But now a new survey suggests the condition may be more common than previously thought. Christian Benavides has more.
For years, Allison Burke had trouble focusing and acting impulsive, but it wasn't until her daughter was diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD, that she realized she might have it too.
It was literally like lightning bulbs, just every 2 seconds were going off, and I kept thinking, well, this sounds so familiar.
She was diagnosed at 42 years old.
It was just so validating because I really thought my whole life up until that point that there was something wrong with me.
A new survey from the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center finds 25% of adults suspect they have undiagnosed ADHD.
Only 13% are actually talking to their physicians about it. So it sounds like there may be some self-diagnosis going on that can impede getting the appropriate treatment.
Psychologist Justin Bartarian says diagnosing adults can be difficult because symptoms can be similar to mental health conditions like anxiety and depression, which is why it is critical to talk to your doctor.
The most effective treatment for ADHD is stimulant medications. And then in addition to that, cognitive behavioral therapy focused on executive functioning skills such as time management, planning, organization.
Allison says it's not perfect, but tools like medication and to-do lists are helping her.
The quietness of my mind has helped me to not be spinning my gears all the time as much, and it's kind of allowed a space for me to feel more confident in tackling things.
Allison hopes sharing her story reduces the stigma around the disorder.
For adults, ADHD symptoms can also include difficulty focusing on tasks, feeling restless, and talking excessively. Automakers competing to convince drivers to go electric are rolling out cheaper, more tech-rich models at Europe's biggest auto show. Tina Kraus shows us some of the world's newest green vehicles.
At this year's Paris Motor Show, the race is on to electrify the auto industry by steering drivers down a greener path.
You look around this motor show, you look around car showrooms, they are packed full of electric cars with the latest technology.
General Motors is back in Europe, showing off a series of electric SUVs, including the Cadillac Lyriq. It can go for more than 300 miles on a single charge and comes with the driverless Super Cruise function.
We call it hands off the wheel, eyes on the road.
Vehicles are filled with futuristic features. This Chinese-made hybrid SUV can float on water for up to 30 minutes and has a built-in drone on the roof, which can be deployed to show you what's coming further down the road. Automakers are targeting everyone from luxury clients to students who don't even have their driver's licenses yet. Throwing in artificial intelligence and capitalizing on convenience, like the perk of always snagging a parking spot in the electric Italian Microlino.
So there are a lot of reasons why current cars are way too big for what they are being used most of the time. And so our idea was to say, okay, how can we downsize a vehicle so that it's really fit for purpose?
car makers say they've done their part to shift the industry toward a greener future and say it's now up to governments to provide more incentives and infrastructure to spark an electric revolution.
Mike is up next with your look at sports. He has some more high school volleyball action for us, starting off with Calumet taking on Negaunee. We'll be right back.
You already know Jen Hill voted with Democrats 99% of the time. But did you know Hill was the deciding vote to raid the teachers' pension fund? Worse, Hill voted to cut school safety and mental health funding 92%. Lansing liberal Jen Hill, putting politics over Peninsula. The better choice?
Carl Bonak. Carl Bonak has a plan to fight inflation, reduce our cost of living, and keep our schools safe and fully funded. Carl Bonak, putting Peninsula over politics.
I thought it was just a rash, but it had a bullseye ring around it. My doctor said it was a tick bite. Luckily, we caught it early.
Ticks found in tall grass around your home can spread Lyme disease and other illnesses, which can lead to chronic health issues. The CDC estimates nearly 500,000 people across the country are diagnosed with Lyme disease each year.
I didn't understand why my brother was having so many asthma flare-ups. Sometimes he couldn't breathe. Turns out a roach problem at home was triggering it.
Allergens left behind by dust mites, roaches, and rodents are a major driver of asthma attacks, especially in children.
When I had a fever, body aches, and fatigue, I never thought it would have been West Nile virus. All it took was a mosquito bite while gardening.
Mosquitoes spread West Nile virus and many other diseases, and they can breed in standing water around your home. Protect your family from pests. Get the facts at pestworld.org.
The greatest sportsmen and women. Icons of our time and beyond. Peerless performances. Champions in a class of their own. Legacies without equal. Timeless quality, superbly crafted stories showcasing the greatest sports heroes and their incredible winning moments. The Immortals, the greatest athletes of all time.
Good evening, everyone. The #1 team in last week's Upper Peninsula Large School Volleyball poll was Calumet. Kate Bonacorsi's club traveled to Negaunee for a Westpac contest against the Miners. We'll pick up the action in the first set. Calumet on the far side, Allison Bajorn, Bella Capo, Jackie Keelanen softly takes care of that one, and the Copper Kings are ahead 1-0. For the Maize and Blue, Maddie Beaudry, Janelle Raudiola to Delaney Gladwell, but Miss Bajorn says, I don't think so, and Calumet jumps out to a 4-0 lead. And they'll try again, will they? Gladwell with Raudiola. Tessa Kangas puts that one down. For those of you that don't know telephone numbers, 475 is the Negaunee Exchange, and now they trail 4-2. Next point, Jess Anderson, Bella Capo, Amina Tarnowski. Second jump was timed nicely. Calumet up 5-2. Then off the Negaunee serve, it will be Anderson, Bella Capo again, and look out, here comes Bajorn. Oh! Not quite a facial, but that one had some pepper on it. 7-4, blue and gray. Copper Kings won the first set 25-10, and Negaunee played much better after that, but Calumet still recorded the sweep, 3-0. A quick look at the scoreboard shows Manistee cruising past Gwynn 3-0. Lainey Johnson had 5 kills and 24 assists for Houghton. Gremlins down Iron Mountain 3-0. In 3 close sets, West Iron County was better than Ishpeming 3-0. Kingsford over Menominee 3-0. And in one that went the distance, Sault Ste. Marie edges Rudyard 3-2 and 15-10 in the 5th. Back to the court, #2 team in last week's poll in the small schools, Hancock right there in the near court against Westwood. And that's Sophie Freeman with a service ace in the first set, and the Bulldogs were in command. On the next point, Emily Lesperance, Brooke Koskela, and Freeman keep the point going. Then Haley Markham sends the ball out of the Bulldogs' reach, but Hancock's still in very good shape. On the next point, it will be Freeman, Emily Lesperance to Veda Brooks for the kill off the block. Bulldogs won the first set 25-5. Set #2, Koskela, Kay Pietala, Back to Koskela, rejected very nicely by Markham. Bulldogs try again. This time, Alicia Aho gets the gentle kill down the middle, and Hancock has a 2-1 advantage. And again for the Bulldogs, Mallory Sporelski, Pietala, Sadie Viecolo, the kill off the block. Bulldogs lead 4-3. They win that set, and they take the match 3-0. Let's go to Kearney-Nadeau, where the Wolves and Stevenson Eagles were in a pretty good match. This is the third set tied at 1. Paige Jardine serves an ace. That gives Kearney-Nadeau a 24-21 advantage. After a Stevenson timeout, Jardine says, "Ha! You're not going to mess with me. I can get another ace." She did. And the Wolves won that third set 25-17. To the fourth, Stevenson in business now. Maddie Vista with a service ace, and the Eagles are up 24-21. And on the next point, Kearney-Nadeau will push the ball back over the net, and the next thing you know, the Eagles are going to get Ava Schultz for the kill right there. Eagles won that set. I should say that was 24-21. The third set was 25-17. Kearney-Nadeau gets the winning points and takes care of this one 3-2, 15-11 in the fifth. Elodie Lenka set a Kearney record with 24 kills in the match. Old record was by some former University of Michigan basketball player, Carly Benson. Yes, trivia. To the scoreboard, North Dickinson over Park River Harris 3-1. Forest Park sweeps Superior Central 3-0. Baraga drops Ontonagon 3-1. It was Jeffers 3, Lance nothing. A triangular in the Western UP. Wakefield Marinesco turned back Bessemer 2-0. And Hurley defeated Bessemer 2-0. And Wakefield Marinesco ended up getting the sweep as they won the second match over Hurley as well, 2-0. Also, Munising and North Central, 3-2 for the Mustangs, 16-14 in the fifth. Now, you're going to wonder why it says 4-0 Munising Baptist over Ojibwa Charter. That's because they play two doubleheaders because they're small schools. They don't get to see each other very much. And in college volleyball, rough night for Bay as Delta turns back the Lady Norse 3-0. High school soccer district action in Division III. Kingsford excuses Iron Mountain. That score was 4-0. The New York Jets have not given up on their season after firing head coach Robert Saleh last week. The Jets finalized a trade that allows them to get wide receiver Devontae Adams from the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders will receive a 2025 conditional third-round pick in the draft that could improve to a second-rounder under a couple conditions. The trade reunites Adams with quarterback Aaron Rodgers, and they've had some success in the past. Other notes from football, the Detroit Lions and defensive tackle Olim McNeil have agreed to a 4-year contract extension, so that's good news there. $97 million, including $55 million guaranteed. On Saturday, in case you missed it, the Lions inked running back David Montgomery to a 2-year, $18.25 million extension. That's good through 2027. And it looks like the Green Bay Packers have a place kicker. They're going to go with Mr. McManus today, Brandon McManus. He'll be the 7th kicker they're trying this year. Buffalo acquired receiver Amari Cooper from Cleveland, released Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Yankees over the Indians 6-3. They lead the series 2-0. We'll be right back. Guardians.
Looking for your next level in real estate? Look no further than Next Home Superior Living. Stephanie's not just any realtor. She's energetic, talented, equipped with the latest technology, and decades of experience to serve you better. At Next Home Superior Living, we're not just selling homes, we're guiding clients and customers throughout the entire transaction. That's Stephanie Jones of Next Home. Visit stephaniesells.com and let her work with you for your next home. Don't settle for ordinary. Choose Next Home Superior Living for your extraordinary real estate journey.
Here's an important message from the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center. If you have diabetes, you know the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce your pain right away. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. Call the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center to learn about this groundbreaking new CGM technology. If you have Medicare or private insurance, call to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. US Med is the #1 rated supplier on Google and Facebook reviews. So call us right now to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. US Med. Better service. Better care.
Pure Outdoor is the first program dedicated to increasingly popular outdoor and eco sports. Individual and adventurous. Journey to the world's most exotic, breathtaking locations. Pure Outdoor.
While we can't rule out maybe a passing shower or a flake of snow, the temperature is going to be on the cold side. Sky conditions steadily improve for the balance of tonight. And with the northerly wind, it should help keep the frost to a minimum, but I don't think it'll be totally abated. When you get temperatures in the mid to upper 20s in some of those colder inland spots toward the Wisconsin border. Marquette and Lakeshore areas holding in the 40s or upper 30s, but once you get away from that on this chilly northerly flow, you're going to get temperatures close to the freezing. Tomorrow, the transition day, back into the mid to upper 50s, sunshine, some lake effect clouds, instability clouds forming in the afternoon, but we'll keep the nice weather going. Thursday, we finally break into the 60s. We'll stay mid to upper 60s by Saturday. Into Sunday, we may hit 70 degrees, and we'll keep it mild even into the beginning of next week. Kevin, back to you.
Tom, thanks very much. And finally tonight, here's a combo you never knew you wanted, or maybe you don't want at all. Reynolds Wrap is offering a recipe for espresso martini lovers that can be enjoyed over the Thanksgiving holiday. It's a rub for your bird that includes ground espresso and a coffee liqueur. This new seasonal take on the espresso martini combines the classic flavors of a Thanksgiving turkey with a richly spiced espresso rub incorporating sweet coffee liquor and a dressing that blends oranges, espresso beans, and fresh herbs. They call it the Reynolds Wrap Espresso Turkey Teeny. What do you think, Mike?
You can miss me with that one. It's probably a mess, but you can miss me with that one.
Yeah, definitely not a coffee drinker, so I don't think I'm going to want it on my Thanksgiving turkey. That's all we have, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.
Tonight, undecided voters. You know their slogan, we can't pick a slogan.
New Colbert, tonight on CBS. You already know Jen Hill voted with Democrats 99% of the time.